Education must promote the creation of a critical group of learners with greater reflective skills and a higher level of reflective practice. This requires the proper use of reflective teaching in the classroom. Reflective thinking is one of the skills to be developed in 21st century learning. To teach using reflections of insights, feelings, and actions comprises 5 steps, which are called the 5 I's of the reflective teaching model. This includes introspection, insight, inquiry, integration, and intuition. It was developed by Professor Reynaldo P. Inusian of Cebu Normal University. This model of teaching can be used on issues in the natural or physical and social sciences, and in literatures where issues or problems are obviously found in the learning material or selection. To have a clearer view, let's use the reflective teaching model as a teaching strategy in a detailed lesson plan. Supposing that you are teaching social studies then, and the topic is about the effects of globalization. The first step is introspection. It is the process of self-reflection in social and environmental phenomena. For instance, let the students watch a YouTube video titled Globalization to know and reflect the ramifications of globalization. Process questions include: what exactly does globalization mean? What are its ramifications? In what areas is globalization most prominent? Who are the winners and losers of globalization? Is globalization a new opportunity or a new challenge? The second step is insight. It is an element of surprise or shock based on the phenomenon posted in the introspection. For instance, based on the YouTube video presented, ask the students to share their observations and sentiments, discuss the positive and negative effects of globalization based on the students' answers, along with a PowerPoint presentation. Process questions include: is it an advantage or a disadvantage that the world becomes interdependent? Why? What did you feel knowing that the information can be distributed worldwide in real time and at affordable prices? If you are an owner of a local company, how would you thrive in the global arena given the existence of multinational companies? What actions would you take to promote cultural diversity given popular culture becomes dominant? As a member of Greenpeace, what sustainable actions would you take to combat the negative effects of globalization on the environment? The third step is inquiry. It is the process of searching for unanswered questions bothering the students' minds. The students are challenged to defend their stance on the given issue. They have to inquire about the legitimate sources of information. For instance, divide the class into 4 groups. Let the students search and read about the challenges to the effects of globalization and the actions taken to address these challenges from any source, printed books, or online. And let the students fill out a matrix of information. After finishing their tables, ask for reporters to discuss their group's answers. Process questions include: based on the answers you have provided, has it been overall positive or negative? Why? Do you think the actions taken to address the said challenges are practical and effective? Why? Do the positive effects of globalization outweigh the negative effects of it in the Philippines? Why? Despite the effects of globalization, in your opinion, what would be its implications for the Philippine society, culture, and economy? The fourth step is integration. It is the process of putting together issues related to the effects of globalization. They can argue or defend related issues on the effects of globalization based on the pros and cons identified. For instance, let the students watch and analyze the film Mardi Gras made in China, which confronts both cultural and economic globalization by humanizing the commodity chain from China to the United States. This is in conjunction with the students' lessons on the effects of globalization and the challenges to the effects of globalization. Process questions include: what effects of globalization are portrayed in the film? Observe the life of the Chinese factory worker depicted by the characters. Have you experienced similar events? If not, what are your thoughts on these situations? How can you relate the concepts presented in this film to your lesson on the challenges to the effects of globalization? How can you take part to address the challenges posed by the effects of globalization? Give concrete examples. Lastly, the fifth step is intuition. It refers to the person's hunch or premonition of the future. For instance, ask the students to write a persuasive speech on the future of globalization and present it to the entire class with a duration of 5 to 7 minutes. Process question includes convergence or divergence. What is the future of globalization? That's it for the right procedure in the demonstration of the reflective teaching model. Indeed, models of teaching are critical pieces to instructional planning and delivery. Increasing the diversity of one's teaching techniques is the primary power of learning about teaching models. The more teaching models teachers investigate and practice, the more techniques they will have at their disposal, and the better their chances at optimizing efforts to successfully reach and teach their students.